You guys ever had a slap chop before? All you gotta do is stop having boring salads, right? All you gotta do is you put it in there, you slap chop, boom. Slap it one time, you got yourself salad dressing. You slap it twice, you got more salad dressing, because I don't know what else you would do with salad dressing. You got potatoes, you put it in the slap chop, you just boom, one slap chop, you got yourself your potato salad. You do another chop, you got a second chop, you got French fries, there you go. I am running out of ideas for interesting beginnings, but Tein decided to send us some coilovers, and you guys have continuously been just like hounding us like dogs about if Tein coilovers are good. What's included? What's in the box? Just tell me what's in the box. It's not what you think it is. It's not the Lonely Island, I promise you. So Tein was like, let's do it. We'll send you something. Turn 14 hooked us up as well with some goodies that we will be putting in another video. Let's get started. Tein, for your driving pleasure. First, let's talk about the saying, for your driving pleasure. So this is the Tein Flex Z Coilover kit that we'll be looking at today. Now, for the specific one that we're looking at, it's right around, I would say $900 for this specific kit. So in terms of price, if that's kind of what you're looking at, this is definitely an affordable coilover. So you guys are gonna wanna come in, we'll have the B-roll camera come in here so you can actually see how it's packaged. First off, don't mind the stab marks, but for the most part, this is how it comes in the package. Just come on in. You can actually see that there is some cardboard covering, but the parts are actually a little bit exposed here. So we're looking at those. Those would be your bushing. We have the actual part one of the actual coilover kit. So you have your main assembly. You actually have everything, looks like it's all preloaded and ready to go. So I'm gonna set this over here. Try not to stab myself. Then of course, we are also looking at the rear. And so this is how this actually comes right out of the box. We are missing something pretty vital, but we don't want to talk about it because it's right here. So this goes on and then you're ready to roll. Nothing too shabby there. It's actually kind of weird how it's boxed, to be honest, because they're not individually wrapped. But then at the same time, most coilovers aren't like individually packaged or anything like that. And then of course you have your instruction manual. Looks like they actually give you a little like embossed sticker. Your adjustability, which is pretty interesting. And then this is for a Nissan 350Z. So this is for the 03 to 08. The Knuckle Destroyer 2.0 comes with an embossed Tein logo on it. So you got two of them when you lose the first one. And then we have a couple other things in here. I feel so bad for whoever has to clean this up because it's definitely not gonna be me. So that comes individually packaged. First off, initial perceptions is it's actually really nice. Nothing too major. Not a huge fan of how it's packaged just because it looks like it could move around a little bit. But in terms of, you know, the actual threads and all that, that all looks good. Paint looks decent. You won't actually see it so, but a lot of people actually care about what it looks like right out of the box. Moving down a layer in terms of what's in here, part two. Oh gosh. A little bit heavy, but here is the full component for the front. Again, you have obviously everything taped. Obviously, we know that Tein is one of those companies that will make the parts specific to the region in which they're purchased from. So parts made in America will be different than those made in, let's say, Japan, or purchased, I should say, for either the Americas or for Japan. And then we have part number two. Oh boy, let's just, All right, so now that we actually have everything unboxed and I stopped making a fool out of myself trying to get everything out of the box, the first thing that you guys need to remember with Tein and like a lot of the coilover stuff that they make is that they pretty much span from really, really affordable to a really, really expensive. And depending on like what type of kit that you get is dependent on how much customization you're gonna get from Tein. So certain kits will actually have really relative to no customization at all, whether it comes down to damping, compression, adjustment, all that sort of stuff. And then as you go up to the upper echelons of Tein coilovers, you're going to get more and more options. You're gonna get the dust boots, you're gonna get things like that. You'll get the full kit versus just having some things that may not come with the kit because of the price point that you're at. With the Flex Z, you're kind of in that middle ground. So a lot of their kits are probably right around $800 to $1,000, depending on on how much, you know, you're willing to spend, what vehicle you're putting it on, and everything in between. So this is for a Nissan 350Z. This is for the 03 to the 08. So the first thing that you're gonna notice is obviously your fronts are gonna come fully assembled. Now something that's interesting is you're obviously gonna have the damping adjustment right up there. It's 16 levels of adjustment, and then what you also have is this little needle adjuster, because what they did is that they made a new version to give you more accurate adjustability. So it's actually a click by click that's a little bit easier than just having something that just is a knob turn, because you never really know what you're doing unless it's a click by click, and they did that. But what you are gonna notice is that they aren't really serviceable. So you're not gonna be able to get in there and change a whole lot of stuff, and then there's no compression adjustability on these specific ones. But the full ones, they come together, they have the nice little tape on there so you know that you got it new. They come right there, so all you gotta do is mount them up to the top and you're ready to go. For this specific kit, for the Flex Z, since we're looking at a Nissan 350Z, you have a little bit more happening in the back. So the first thing that you're gonna notice is obviously it comes with like a spring insulator. This is what you would put in your spring boot in the back of the 350Z. When it actually gets all put together and assembled, you have something kind of looking a little bit like this, actually, when it's in your car. So what happens is, and we're not gonna get into it because unless you guys really do want to know how to install this kit, which we can certainly answer in the comment section below, but this is actually what's gonna determine a lot of your ride height. And what you do is you actually adjust that, and you kind of, there are two parts to a whole. You can't just adjust it with this and then do nothing here. This helps you adjust your strut travel to match how much lower your car is. So what a lot of people recommend, every vehicle is different, but when you have something set up like this where it's a separate assembly and you have something that's adjusting your ride height in the rear versus something that's adjusting your strut travel, you're going to want to remember that there's almost always going to be a ratio. The ratio differs depending on the vehicle that you own. Sometimes it's 2 here for 1 here. Sometimes it's 3 here for 1 here. Sometimes it's 1 to 1. Every vehicle is different, so I'm not going to tell you what the number is, but if you want to know, a lot of times those forums out there that are probably around 15 years old will actually have that information out there for you. A little bit of a pro tip for you guys to remember, especially when you're going and adjusting these things, is that this is meant to make sure that you don't have your strut or shock in the rear fully extending out or fully getting compressed, because at the end of the day, that's actually not good for your suspension components. You want this to essentially get 75% either way, but you never want it to either fully bottom out or fully expand, because ultimately what you're gonna do is you're gonna damage everything. I don't know if I already talked about the dust boot, but you actually have the dust boot here too, which is super nice. It's something that doesn't come on a lot of like more affordable coilover kits, but Tein is one of those companies that's been doing it for such a long time, and they actually changed their entire manufacturing process, especially for the Flex Z, to make the parts more affordable and then to kind of like make it cheaper for the people that are looking to buy the kit as well. They also kind of make it a little bit dummy proof, but don't be fooled. It still is something that you're going to want to research a little bit prior to installation so that you know that these parts come together, you know that this is fully assembled, you know that you have to set it up like this, and then of course you have the instructions, and the instructions are in English. So helpful, especially when you're trying to install something. You have your good old knuckle breakers here. When you lose one, you can break your knuckles with the other one, and you're pretty much set. Something that's really cool is that they do include a little bit of the extra stuff for you so that you don't have to go out and buy it, you don't have to wait for things to come in, and it's overall just a wholesome kit if you're looking to get something into your car that's not going to cost you a ton of money, but it's still going to give you a little bit of adjustability past just ride height. Another thing to remember is that this is a twin tube system, so it's going to actually allow you to get just a little bit more in terms of comfortable ride like on the streets. Now whether that actually is like a marketing ploy or whether that works is entirely up to you. In my eyes, as long as you don't go too aggressive with the coilover kit, you're going to be just fine. Something that else that's kind of cool is that you have the full length system for ride height adjustability. You're going to have a full length system for ride height adjustability, but you're going to have a minimum change in like ride quality. So one of the biggest things is when Tein made this is that they wanted it to be capable for almost anybody to put in their car and lower it without having it, you know, adversely affect a lot of your ride quality. So in all, it's actually a pretty well put together kit. So that is our unboxing on the Flex Z Coilovers. Let us know in the comment section below if you guys run Tein. If you're interested in Tein, you can head out fitmentindustries.com. We actually have all the Tein products. If you have a vehicle, Tein probably makes a coilover kit for it. If you guys have questions on the installation or more in-depth on a lot of like the sophisticated stuff of coilovers, we've done videos in the past. We're going to continue to do videos so that you guys can kind of learn a little bit more. Let us know in the comment section below. But I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. Don't forget to subscribe. We will see you later. Peace.